Oh, g'day guys. We're just going to do a preview for the Newmarket meeting on Wednesday night, the 21st of November. There's 9 races, as you can see. Rails out 3, which is a traditional rail placement for this meeting. Found it a very tough meeting, I must say. Track conditions good for at the moment. Penetrometer 4.4, that is actually quite firm. And given past history, it usually means on-speed dominate. But the one thing, it's currently about 6 o'clock on Wednesday night. I just googled the Launceston weather. So we've got 95% chance of rain according to the Bureau of Meteorology. So they made it $1.05 pop, the rain. So most likely later this evening, and even tomorrow there's rain easing, then mostly sunny. So you'd imagine there's going to be a bit of rain about. So so it could make things a little bit tricky. If it doesn't rain, you probably want to be on speed near the fence, and if we get sort of, more than a few drops of rain, it might sort of change the complexion entirely. So it does make it a bit tricky. But anyway, I said this will probably take a while with a few videos, so I'll jump into it. Might kick off with the actual Newmarket itself, which is race 5, which is a strange option in itself. Sort of, it does tend to make the remainder of the card after it a bit of a letdown. And the other thing too, if there's any track bias, past history shows that when the sun's still out, it's magnified. When it's still daylight, it does tend to play a lot fairer once the sun goes down and the atmosphere gets a bit heavier. But anyway, so Iron Wesley, obviously top weight favourite, and deservedly so. I think he's won his last 6 Tasmanian starts. The one thing about this race, horses on the minimum do have a good record in recent times. He himself won it on the minimum last year and goes up 5 kilos. I think even if you look at in 12 months, I think Lord Da Vinci's about 7.5, 8 kilos better off at the weights than what they met last year. But very even race, you can make a case for most of them. And the other thing to take into account, the general lead-up race for this is the Goodwood in Hobart, and I don't know what to make of the format of that. A couple of the favourites there in Duraza and Lord Da Vinci went on face value terribly, but a lot of the jockeys did mention that the track had a bit of a shifting surface that day and they didn't handle it. And if you take that race on face value, like Zatakla missed the start 6 and got beaten 2. So it does sort of tend to, and he's a bolter of the field here, I think. So it does tend to make it a bit, add some credence to the fact that the form might be a bit dodgy. Do have Iron Wesley on top. The one thing to take into account, though, if we do get any rain, like he can handle it, but it certainly evens things up a hell of a lot. If you have a look here, like he's had 9 starts on soft and hasn't won, and 1 start in the heavy and hasn't won. So, 10 wet track runs for a ducky as far as a winner's stall. So, and a few of them are actually swimmers down the bottom. So, I just think if you want to have an investment, Zatakla, like he's a miler, second up, that first up run, if you take it on face value, he's, as I mentioned, missed the start 5 or 6 lengths, got beaten 2. Sectionals are very good, and you're copping $20 plus for the interest. And if it does rain, he does handle the wet as well. So I think you could do far worse. But you can make a case. Any horse here could win, and I'd never have the how did that win type feeling. But yeah, just a couple of coins a tackler if forced to pick one. Anyway, the first, and this is a very tough race. You can make a case for 7 or 8 of them. Like Blackburn has been pretty consistent in the past couple. Cunning Fox, drawn 1. Actually, I had the dynamic odds up here. So if you have a look at, about 6 to 4 on Wesley, it's a tackler, $21. You do worse than that, but bit of an opinion race. In the first, $2.80 Cunning Fox. There's just numerous horses here, like Zippin A, Fagan's Touch. Actually, Fagan's Touch is the one I was going to back ever since nominations came out, and then it drew 17, so it went to about my 6th pick in the race. Fontanelli's been good against the pattern. Pospashute I threw out last week and ran a narrow second, but did a bit third by fairway. Ruby Cat, Gigi's Rock Opera, and Forenzi wasn't that bad, but actually, if we just have a look, I might just pick a replay out in the first race. Actually, what we might do is just have a look at that Goodwood race. So, sorry about that. We'll just go back to that. I'll just cue that one up. Right, so we'll just go, let's see, Lord Da Vinci went round in the race. So, it was at Elwick. So if we just have a look at Zatakla, blows the start and settles down 5 or 6 lengths behind them. So there he is, jumped in the air. You can see like he got 4 lengths off the second last there. Here's Lord Da Vinci here in the black. Duraza leaders back. Here's the Olon Star. Middle here, like there's a number of these horses in the race. So you can see here's Zatakla. And if you just watch Zatakla's, so you've got Lord Da Vinci outside here. Now if you're coming through form through that race, you're copying $20 him. I think he's probably on face value. Like Duraza was quite too bad to be true, to be honest, given the run she had. Same with Lord Da Vinci, but yeah, form's a bit dodgy, but just thought I'd sort of show out why I'm having a couple of bucks on Zatakla. So we'll have a quick look at the first. Right, so, and as we pointed out, like Cunning Fox was $2.80, and if we just, like he had every start this stage, draws barrier 1 again on Wednesday.
Well, locked away.
So, he's Cunning Fox here, so you can see he's going to be able to take up a position once again, but he has a perfect run in transit here, 3 back the inside. But there's a couple in the race here, like Fagan's Touch is last, and Pospashoots one out 4 wide, making a run here. Like they're both in the race, and here's Cunning Fox here. Now you're taking $2.80 this. I think this horse out pulling the widest is about $15 and this one's about $7.50. There's no doubt this Cunning Fox got a perfect run through the middle, and these 2 out wider. You know, just know which one I'd rather be backing at the prices. So it's these 3 here. So Cunning Fox in the middle. You can see like Pospashoots only a head behind Cunning Fox here, and Fagan's Touch a length and a half further behind them. So, and we get out to 1400. So I'm not saying you can't win Cunning Fox, but punting's all about value. So if I was to have a couple of bets in the first, I'd probably have a couple of bucks. I'll back up on Pospashoot again, and a few coins on Fagan's Touch. The second, obviously Kwai's probably one of the more interesting runners on the night. She's trial was just flew at the trials. Appraise quite impressive last week. Not last week, last start. Looks the logical danger. Obviously Kwai's going to be a good things price, and you know, impossible to mount a case. It's only had the one start currently and was very impressive at Devonport. Actually, might have a look at it trial. We've got it here. So where's
Racing, Border Protection away nicely off the inside. Quay got out quickly, were under the early lead. Wallet Wizard is out wider, then Blackberry Rose, followed by a Candor. Glass Warrior deeper on the track. The grey starting to improve. And back second last is Celtic Obsession. It's 3 or 4 lengths in front. Border Protection, Blackberry Rose. And Glass Warrior a bit wider on the track. A couple of lengths away to Wallet Wizard. The last pair coming around the home turn. A Candor on the inside. Celtic Obsession. But Quay with Newitt sitting as quiet as a mouse. Leads around the home turn by 6 and halfway down the straight. It's going to stroll home. Quay goes on to win, untouched by 5 lengths. Second goes to Border Protection, Glass Warrior, Blackberry Rose. Then a Candor, Celtic Obsession, and Wallet Wizard.
Well, Border Protection's soft trial, head on the chest and beating the rest comfortably. So I just think as far as a betting perspective is concerned, what are we sitting at? I think you're copying about $4 a place. Border Protection, I think it's draw barrier 3, soft draw. You do far worse than have an interest on Border Protection place, but yeah, $1.85 the fave. So the third looked to be probably 3 or 4 major chances here. It's only bet I've actually had so far. Put $4.20 up, needs a more. Probably my best bet on the card as well, Old Maker. One start in Hobart, and actually we'll go to race 3. I think it might have been a pretty handy form race, the Hobart one. It's a funny race, sort of took a position, 3 wide with cover, then was off the bit for a while going nowhere, and then got going again in the straight. Might have had something to do with that shifting track we were alluding to before. Judy's Fairy Rento was okay the other day. Off the shows, trialled well for its return, got form behind Lady Pluck. Tambrose Bobby was pretty good on debut, hit the line okay. A tad more, definitely looks the leader if there's any leader bias, and Glass Warrior is one we pointed out from the trial. But as I mentioned, making needs a more the best bet on the card. We'll just actually grab the replay. Pictures speak 1,000 words. Right, so got it here, and where's the blue colours with the black stars?
Life's a poem, a little.
So here she is here in the blue. Jumped out okay in like 3 deep with cover. And as I was talking to you, can see he's ridden along going nowhere. I've just watched the last 200 metres. Actually, sectionals in this race were very good, the overall time as well. So, and we've got a couple of horses here. The horse in the yellow Insider came out and won on Saturday. And the one out wide here came out and ran 3rd, I think. Just watch the way she hits the line when she balances up in the straight. Here's GG Fairente up the inside. Now you have to like the way she's hitting the line there. Now the outside gate's not ideal, but do think she should be favoured in the race. Like Tad Moore's had very soft leads. The other one do give a chance to is Glass Warrior. Like the issue with him, he's probably going to get probably going to get back. But if you look at the speed map, Tad Moore's the leader and it's drawn 1, so might actually settle a bit closer than previously. And that trial wasn't that bad either. So, but happy to be on needs a more in race 3. The fourth is for the maidens class 1s over 2100. I think I backed the winner of one of these about 4 or 5 years ago. But very even lot as well. Not much between them. Obviously, there's a reason horses get to stretched out to 2100 and they're still maidens because they're not overly quick. But so you generally have a wall of them at the 200. The horse here, A Quiet Word, wasn't too bad the other day. Over raced and stuck to its guns okay. Haven't actually looked at the prices. Yeah, into double figures. You know, it's not a type of race you'd launch into something at the shorts, but I do think A Quiet Word, small each way, like it's drawn a low barrier this time, so yeah, you think it's probably going to get a better run in transit, so forced to pick one. Obviously, we've already gone through the Newmarket. The sixth This is virtually benchmark 85 at 1200 versus pseudo Newmarket Consolation. Chill out trials were good. Pretty good record overall, track and trip. Emma Word's top of its game at the moment, going well. Happy Halloween was heavily supported the other day. Apriano was actually very good last time, and probably the leader in the race. And Concentrate's another one who goes well first up from the soft draw. So, and Trial was actually very good the other day, so I'll probably be having something each way on Concentrate. Just don't have a real feel for the race, but I just think, like drawn 3, leader's drawn 2, should settle a bit close. There's a few others here that'll settle a stone, Beaufort Lad that'll be getting back. So, yeah, probably get a good run in transit. So I think it's about $9. You could do worse than have something each way Concentrate at, sort of $8 now. Must have had a little bit of support for him, but the 7th, also over the 1200 metres for the Class 3s, and another very tough race, this one. Silzor, been taking on some pretty handy types lately. See My Biddy, Savs Finale, Mandela Effect, Emma Word. Yeah, so top weight, outside gate, but obviously right in the mix. Said you've got a fair bit of speed in the race as well. Katie Cat was good in a fast run race last time. GG's Rich Ruby. If there's one here at sort of big odds, Cole's Hero down the bottom with the claim carrying a postage stamp. I think it's about $20. $18 Cole's Hero. So what going? It's easy to sort of point it out. It's one of the very few horses to make ground around the turnout wide last time in an easier race, but obviously drops dramatically in weight as well. So you can see last time it was 58.5, but goes from a benchmark 58 up to a Class 3. But GG Rich Ruby's in the race. You see like GG Rich Ruby's $8 and Cole's Hero's 18. Might just go and grab that replay. Alright, so here we go. So Cole's Hero. Obviously he's got the blue and white check colours. Like that's his last win. So.
In.
This same track and distance. Series here in the sort of second last. As I mentioned, it was a one-lane highway on the fence this night. You can see he's taking off here out 4 and 5 wide. Nothing out there made ground. This was a dead set no-go zone all night where he is. Here's GG Rich Ruby, who's also in the race. He does stick to his guns though, pretty well late. So I think he draws barrier 2 this week. Drops sort of 4 kilos on this run, and there's a fair bit of speed, and it might set it up for a run on horse. So just at the odds, like that's not a be on me next time flashing light type of run, but I just think at the weights and the draw, you'd be far worse than have something on him at the odds. The 8th, mile race, benchmark 76, keeps it's the one constant for the night. They're pretty evenly matched, these. Overplay, obviously declared a non-runner last time. Previous form was very good for a race like this. I always get overplay and underplay mixed up, but he's definitely in the mix if brings previous form. Axion's one who's just in the zone at the moment. Actually, I was thinking a race of with a few question marks. I think it's about $4 if you have a look. Record at the track. Oops. Had 13 starts in Launceston for 2 wins and 10 placings. Only missed a place once. got beaten by a very handy horse last time, and it's worth noting that they beat third by 5 or 6 lengths. So just in an open race, you've got a horse who's been placed 12 or 13 at the track. You know what you're going to get. It's drawn barrier 2, C knew it. I think it's about $4. I just think you're forced to pick one. It's into, sort of, I think it was 370-ish now. So, no real sort of confidence in that race. And the last, I found this very tricky. Fair bit of speed. Look, Zubarina probably leads, was advantaged by the pattern last time, but notwithstanding that, beat Manalenia White Hawk, who both came out, and Frank Laforme, they both come out and won. So, from barrier 1, it's going to lead. So, it's definitely the one to beat. It just might cop a bit of heat from Dothraki Princess. Triple Strip, disappointing at sort of short odds last time. Drops back in grade and might appreciate the truer run race as well, but the one at odds here that might, is Bargiel, obviously carrying 60. Was just in a pretty red hot race there last time, like My Biddy, Westerly Hayes, and it was out where we just pointed out, out wide and impossible to make ground, and finished virtually equal with Silzor, and Street Tough. So whilst it ran last, it's still a bit of merit in the run. I think you're copying double figures. Barrier 3. So just on a night, might be needing to get out come the last. Look, based on the amount of confidence I got on the meeting. So might go shopping for something at a bit of value in Bargiel from the good draw. So anyway, just recapping then, we'll make the best bet race 3, number 11, Needs a More. The best roughie race 7, number 12, Cole's Hero. So the bottom horse in races 3 and 7. And just trying to think of anything else I'm half keen on. So just recapping, race 1, small win bets, Fagan's Touch, Posh Pursuit. Race 2, probably Border Protection a place. Race 3, Needs a More. Even have a couple of bucks save a Glass Warrior. Race 4, something small each way, a quiet word if forced to recommend one. Newmarket, probably is a tackler, but I think most people know the form for that anyway. So Concentrate each way in the 6th. In the 7th, Cole's Hero at odds. In the 8th, Axion's probably the foolproof play in the race. And just a couple of bucks Bargiel in the last. So as you can probably tell, it's not a night I'm going to be busting the bank on, but good sized fields as a rule generally mean truly run races. Obviously see what the weather brings us, so obviously might pay to watch the first couple of races just with a view to going forward. So might wrap it up there. It's probably dragged on a bit with the 9 races and a few replays. So anyway guys, until next time, we'll leave you with it. Cheers.